This is rather interesting. I'm still concerned about Caitlin Clark playing in this system. I'm going to remain skeptical. I understand that gets me a lot of hate from a lot of people because, well, injuries, playoffs, oh my God, what a performance. I'm talking about Caitlin Clark and her play on the court. I can tell you, until I visually see it really work like it worked with Christy Sides on offense.
You clicked for Caitlin Clark's MVP odds. You're in the right place. BetMGM and FanDuel have her near the top at plus 300, but there's a twist. Stephanie White just called her Taylor Swift 2.0, and that kind of fame can change a league's future. The problem? That spotlight isn't free.
And what she's allowed to do. I get it. Stephanie White said, oh, we got to let her cook, blah, 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 that kind of thing. But until I witness it. And so we can start here. And going back to performance, we've got the early odds for most valuable player. Until I see it, then I'm going to remain skeptical of whether or not the Stephanie White, Caitlin Clark thing is really a great marriage.
Stay with me, because we're unpacking how a 23-year-old's pressure might be the exact reason the WNBA's media rights jump toward a reported $260 million. And we'll break down why the Fever at plus 350 and Clark's fit in their system could decide if that bet pays off. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
And the championship involving the Indiana Fever. And in fact, that is where I want to start. And I was not entertained by the brand of offense this team played. All right. That's just being honest. This video. And look, I'm going to also continue to say something else. When I watch a sporting event, I want to be entertained.
You came for the plus 300 MVP ticket, but here's the part the line doesn't capture. Every dribble turns into a headline someone can twist. That's the unpriced risk. You're betting on production while the discourse runs full court press. And it's not going away. On the board, it looks clean. BetMGM and FanDuel park her around plus 300 for MVP. The Fever sit plus 350 to win it all, right in the neighborhood of the top tier. Nia Collier leads at about plus 230. Aya Wilson hovers near plus 380. Those numbers suggest a tight race with a clear group up front. You can model usage, efficiency, win shares, but you can't model how often her name gets pulled into arguments that have nothing to do with a stagger screen or a weak side cut.
As the nearly 7-month-long WNBA offseason kicks off, Caitlin Clark's initial 2026 WNBA MVP odds. Here we go. Let's just scroll down. It looks like BetMGM for the title. The Indiana Fever at a plus 350. In the Indiana Fever's initial WNBA championship odds have been released by BetMGM and FanDuel.
Stephanie White spelled it out when she called her Taylor Swift 2.0. That tag fills arenas and moves cameras. It also shifts the conversation into places that don't track with film study. White said it plainly. Her name grabs attention. Her name is clickbait. Her name is utilized in a way that very few people and athletes are. Then she put her next to LeBron, Serena, and Tiger. That kind of company tells you this is bigger than a hot shooting week. It's reach, it's responsibility, and it bleeds past the court. The business impact is measurable. An economist's estimate tied her to roughly 1 in 6 WNBA tickets sold in her rookie year.
We got the Lynx and the Aces at a plus 300, and the Liberty without a coach, a plus 450. We'll see.
That's absurd scale for a first season. Road dates turned into events. Teams scheduled bigger venues. Ushers learned her routine because lines formed earlier. That's great for revenue and visibility. For a player, it means every arena feels like a showcase. autographs at shoot-around, live hits during warm-ups, and a camera tracking her reactions after a simple entry pass. More attention brings more scrutiny. Not just game breakdowns, but chopped clips, hot takes, and debates where the basketball is a prop. Ratings pop, timelines flood, and by the fourth quarter your phone is already pushing a narrative about the game you're still playing. Sportsbooks move numbers on shots made and wins expected. They don't post a number for how often you'll trend by halftime. Now zoom back to the court. The odds say she's close to MVP. Defenses answer by loading early, switching late, and trapping the sideline. Teammates have to recalibrate timing on ghost screens and slips. The Fever's offense still has to prove it holds up when playoff pace compresses and game plans slice off her favorite angles. That's a test you can't fake in January. It shows up when a series forces you to your counters. We saw it late in games last season. Double teams came, and the read had to be made on a beat and a half. A skip pass a touch behind turned into a rush three. Now put that same possession on every feed in real time. The decision window stays the same, but the noise around it gets louder. You're playing chess while someone narrates every move to an audience of millions. Coaches talk about her gravity. Drag two defenders high and your short roller feasts. That's real advantage. But critics point to the stalls when spacing shrinks and tempo dips. If the wing doesn't lift or the corner doesn't cut, the possession dies. Two truths living in one pressure cooker. White voiced a worry many share. I'm still concerned about Caitlin Clark playing in this system. Until I visually see it really work like it worked with Christie sides on offense, I'm going to remain skeptical. That's not a jab at talent. It's a challenge to the structure around it. Here's the payoff. When your name becomes a traffic engine, the mental load spikes. Focus can drift from reads and calls to noise and narratives. You shoulder the game plan and also the implications. It's a tax you don't see on a box score. The scary part is it's constant. Cameras don't rest. Markets won't stop cashing in on her name. The odds reflect skill and path to wins. The hidden charge is the surveillance that can tug at performance and well-being. And with every ticket scanned and stream tuned in, that meter keeps running as the Fever weigh pace, spacing, and late clock execution against the string. Here's the twist we can't price into a model. The same fame that drains her is driving the reported jump toward $260 million in media rights. That attention is the league's growth engine, and she's the fuel line. So tell me straight, does plus 300 hold value, or is it a trap under that weight? And do the Fever at plus 350 have enough spacing to unlock it? Next, we're tracking how early season pace, assist to turnover, and usage under pressure move those numbers in real time. If the tempo rises and the turnovers drop, the screen and replace actions start translating into market movement.